You guys know the deal. Always give a little introduction because this video will probably upload. Just in the shop working on a second hickory chair for a customer right here at the bench. Got a snowstorm blowing in here since early this morning. We already got, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 inches at this point. Dropping close to an inch an hour, I think. So that's coming down pretty good. Probably repeat myself a bunch of times once this is uploaded because everybody will have questions and want to chat and all those sorts of things. And I'll do my best to come back and check all that. So I'm working on building a second hickory chair. First chair that I built is right here, all set and done, ready to go to the upholster. This chair over here came from the old Hickory company. Customer purchased it used with a whole set and a table, and they wanted me to build 2 chairs to go along with it. Now they could have ordered a couple chairs from the Hickory company, but he said, you know, I'd rather pay you to do it, so that's always a plus. These are something totally new. I had to add a bunch of tools to my lineup in order to build these, and I had somebody asking about it under another video. We'll see if he gets on and we'll answer questions on that if they pop up. So let's see, we got a few people jumping on. Just kind of a chill morning in the shop. Let me know if that heater fan is too loud. We can always turn that off. I hear it humming in the background. It sounds loud, but might not sound loud to you guys. If you guys have questions, ask. Getting ready to measure out though the tenon holes, mortises, whatever the heck they are, for the back legs of the chair. Mark them and drill them, mark them and drill them. Key things, trying to keep everything straight. And yeah, it's always fun. Always fun. So I'm working on the back posts right now. I got to drill out some holes. Got to get this thing in the little vise here. All the tools I'm using, except for the big drill, I pretty much got from lumberjacktools.com. They got all kinds of stuff, everything to build chairs like this, and they got some other really neat templates and things. You know, I might get into doing some more of these. I know I want to build a rocker, which I might do next. I ordered enough hickory so I could do a couple more hickory chairs of my own to sell. And I might do a rocker out of some of that and incorporate a carved black walnut seat and backrest and maybe even armrests. A rocking chair. The rockers for the lower portion though I'll probably do out of oak. Walnut's not that hard, and I'd hate to break the rockers off if somebody were to actually, you know, have them break it off. They're actually using it. So oak's sturdy and reliable. I had another chair in here in my update video with the busted rockers. That was a rocking chair. I had this busted rocker. I already removed the good one and the bad one. And then I've already cut 2 new ones out, which I'm going to use that one good rocker as a template, which I did for the bandsaw. But I'll maybe glue it down with some hot glue because that's easy to remove, or clamp it down and then take the router with an edge bit and follow it, and then just kind of, it'll clean it all up so everything's fairly uniform to match this. Getting clean lines in here can be difficult, so. But that'll be a project maybe over the weekend or next week. I'll get that wrapped up for that customer. Hope you guys are having a good Friday though. You know, I don't know what Saturday's gonna look like as far as a video. If I can get some editing done, maybe I can get together all the eagle videos I've done thus far. I don't know. just been working on customer orders, so I really haven't, customer orders as in furniture, and for some reason I just have a difficult time videoing furniture builds. So along with my new lumberjack tools, got myself this nice Milwaukee drill. This is what they suggest for using their tenon cutters. This thing is a beast. Runs at 450 RPM, which is like the lowest setting you can get. And that's what they suggest for cutting tenons. And if you don't know, those are the tenons. And they fit in the logs. I don't know if you guys can't see. I'll show you once I get these holes drilled out. So I gotta get this thing drilled out and glued up today. Like I was saying, I've been using that Hickory chair over here that's complete. It was built by the old Hickory company as my template and my guide. And I took measurements, so if this customer wants, you know, some different chairs in the future, I'll be able to base it off that and not necessarily need a chair on site. Old Hickory's been building chairs though for ever. Since like 1889 or 98, something like that, since the late 1800s. Good morning, Ruben. Just working on drilling holes. I already got my tenons cut, working on a Hickory chair. Second chair for customer order. There's some of the Hickory. This stuff I ordered out of Tennessee, out of a company there. They grow the hickory and cut it down and kiln dry it and ship it. Freight it even if you need it freighted to you. Works out good. I mean, it's not super cheap, but when you're doing what I'm doing, you got customers that want what they want and make it happen. We don't really have hickory grown like this up here, or at least I haven't found anybody near me in upstate New York that could sell me what I'm looking for as far as hickory poles like this, so you know, you gotta just figure it out sometimes. Once earlier, probably won't get a lot of people here on YouTube this morning. Most of y'all are probably at work. Now the Hickory company did provide me with, well, not provide, I bought all this. They're not sponsoring any of this. Not the Hickory company, Lumberjack Tools. I did buy tenon cutters from them, or Forstner bits from them. And they cut awful. Brand new bits, but they're dull. They don't cut very fast. These bits, I just got these, shoot, what the heck are they? Diablo or Frood, which is pretty much, I believe, pretty much the same darn company, but these Diablo bits, they cut really, really nice. They're sharp, cut fast. I was pretty much burning the hickory with the other bits that were brand new. It's kind of a bummer that, you know, the company that supplies the tools doesn't have a really good Forstner bit to match their tenon cutter. I'll show you guys what a tenon cutter looks like. So this is the lumberjack tools, right? And that's your tenon cutter, one of them. It's got these big blades on here, one on each side, like a big pencil sharpener. Cuts those tenons, basically that shape. And then you use the Forstner bit, which is kind of like a drill bit for wood, to drill your hole. And that tenon pops in there. A little bit of glue, let everything set up. Pop a couple nails in with the air nailer. Try not to blow anything apart when you do that, because that's fun. And try to make it look good. What's going on, Jacob? It's going okay, man. Going okay. Oh, working on chair order. I got one of the chairs done. That's this one here. And working on building the second chair for this customer right now. I'm not doing the upholstery on these though. I've got a guy has a small shop right around the corner from me that does it. It's been in his family for years, and I'm gonna have him do the upholstery. My customer already spoke with him about it. They picked out, I believe, a nice deep brown leather. This is leather country out here. Next town over is actually called Gloversville. They all kinds of leather mills back in the day, so it's not hard to get leather. Oh, just seeing Ruben around 4 p.m. in Belgium. Yeah, it's about 10 a.m. here, a little after 10 a.m. Ruben, I didn't see your comment there. I do have a lathe. But, you know, like you said, time frame and stuff, you know, time is money when you're building projects for customers. I got to get this stuff done, get clear coat on it, and then it's going to sit all weekend till the upholsterer opens on Monday, and then I'll get them up to him. But I want to get these chairs done quickly. If you have a lathe and you have the time, and you have a lathe that's long enough to fit a piece like this, this is cut down to about 48 inches long. Well, I guess I don't need tenons on this one though, my bad. As long as your lathe will hold pieces that are about 20 inches long, you could spin it and turn your ends. I mean, that's definitely doable, but for me, you know, certain projects, it just comes down to time is money. There's a certain allotted time I need to get these in, so I'm still making money. Otherwise, I'm starting to fall behind on, you know, not just this project, but others. All right, so get these spun around. One thing I did do, actually I forgot I cut those ends off. I like to mark on the very bottom what's what. So I know like what I'm calling the face of the log, left. This is the back. So when I'm looking at everything, I know what way everything is supposed to go. Right, back. So what I'm doing there is just marking these out. Kind of like give myself an angle. Because now I know these are the front, so now I need to drill holes that are going to be this way. You drill these holes in the wrong spot, and then you have trouble. Things don't match and meet up the way they're supposed to, and I'm sure there's jigs for it, but they're not something that I've got. Actually, these are the back. Let me think here for a second. These are my fronts, so I need to mark off backrest holes. I wrote all these down on my iPad, and then I left it in the house, so that's not going to be super helpful. I wrote them all down because I wanted to base it off my measurements to see how close I came from my original build here. But it's in the house. It's a snowy, hot mess. I don't feel like going in to get it. Because it is quicker to just look down at measurements rather than keep measuring every step back out again. But it'll be all right. 8, 16, 20. Bottom up. 8, 16, 20. $47. 8, 16, 20, 47. Hope you guys are having a good morning, or in Ruben's case, a good evening as you're coming into your evening. Yeah, Jacob, these lumberjack tools are pretty great, man. Jacob, I think I threw out the package. The bits I got from them weren't Irwin bits. They're some off-brand I never heard of, and they were duller crap. Do I use nails? Yeah, so I'll use glue. I'm gonna use a little bit of Gorilla Glue in each one. Just a dab. Just a dab. Just a dab. And the only reason I'm only using a dab is because this stuff will expand 4 times the size of the amount you're using. And we don't want this huge, gooey, gloppy mess all in the bark dripping down the chair. So it'll be a dab in the hole. Put the tenon in, give it a couple twists, and line everything up quick. Clamp it and do whatever we got to do for the glue to set up. Once the glue is set up, unless I need something to hold it, then I'll put a nail in there. If I need to put a nail in to keep something, you know, tight because I just can't get it squared up with the clamps or anything, then I'll throw a nail in. But what I'm using for nails is this air nailer, and I've got it turned up on high because this Hickory it doesn't like to have nails in it. And I'm using, so this is 16 gauge air nailer, and I'll be using, I think they're like 1 1/4 inch, just 1 1/4 inch headless nails in the nailer. So, I mean, they got some thickness to them, because a lot of times I use 18 gauge for very small trim stickwork projects, but I mean, I got to get myself a 16 gauge nailer, so it's got a little more beef to the nails and can hold a little more, be a little more structurally sound for things. Takes a little more abuse, those bigger ones, bigger nails. All right, I gotta measure this first stick out, and the big thing here is we already have holes. We have to make sure these holes, my fingers in these holes, the new ones I'm gonna drill, keep a 90-degree angle, or close to a 90. Because if they don't, the chair is not gonna sit very square. And then it doesn't help that all the sticks have bends and twists and all kinds of crazy crap going on, so it's usually pretty difficult. Tons of fun. Tons of fun. Just kidding, it is tons of fun. I enjoy this. I enjoy this. A whole bunch. Alright. Eight. 16, 20, 8, 16, 20, and 47. They all look pretty straight. You can also kind of line them up once I get them in here and start actually drilling holes. Get this log kind of where it needs to be. 16, 20, 47. Alright. Yeah, the other tool I'm using here, you guys can just see a little bit. This is a vise from Lumberjack Tools as well. This is or a clamp. This works pretty good. This is a pretty neat tool. Definitely worth it if you're doing chairs like this. I would say this is definitely worth the money. You have to go on their website and see. They got two different ones. I think I ended up buying just the cheaper one, but still does the job. I think the only thing that's different is like the hardware, heavier duty screws or not, and this seems to work just fine, so I'm alright with that. Line this up straight. It's all about getting things close. Make it close and you can finesse the rest. Yeah, Ruben, that would probably work. Putting a stick in the hole and kind of, you know, keeping it level. And yeah, I could go through that whole process. I could. It's a good idea. Tennenizer. Oh, cool. Yeah, maybe I'll check it out. I don't do a lot of stuff like this. I do a lot more different rustic style stuff, but I might get into building I'm gonna probably get into building more hickory chairs and things, you know. It just kind of depends on what customers want. I don't normally tell customers no. You know, if they want something and they're willing to pay for it, then, you know, I'll make it happen. But I might get into making some of these custom chairs for some shows this year and things like that. Like I said, I want to build a rocker, so that might be next. We'll see. So this whole stick is done. To get these two legs done, I only got 2 supports for the backrest we got to drill holes in. And we'll do a dry fit. Then we got to sand stuff before we glue. There's a few little trick kind of things I've noticed old Hickory did with their bark and things like that. So I'm gonna do the same. Get these things close to being close. Close to being close, whatever that means. I'll take your idea and stick the spare Forstner bit I have in here and just kind of make this one a little level to the ground. There. That works. Like I said, I'm not too concerned with it being exact and perfectly at 90s because the sticks throw everything out of whack anyway. Nothing seems to stay perfect. You guys can't even really see anyway, can you? You can see the holes here, so I'm getting ready to drill those ones that go down in the top. That's what I was gonna say, Jacob, if you're still here, do you use that Milwaukee drill or you use something else for cutting your tenons? Are you using one of these guys? Or something else if you're still here watching, Jacob? See what Jacob's still here. Held up really well. Yeah. So, Jacob, what I have found is the speed of the drill is key. So this drill only drills in 450 RPMs. If you look into drills, that's not much. It's super slow. I've got a Porter cable drill over here, and that runs at the absolute lowest speed, 600. I've tried cutting tenons with that, and it's bitey and grabby and all kinds of stuff. I have found the slower cutting drill with all the power and torque, there really is a difference. Don't get me wrong, by all means, you get by with that Harbor Freight drill, do it up, save yourself some money. The Milwaukee one ends up being like a couple $100 or so, but I figure I'll be using it quite a bit, and my theory is if you can make some money and upgrade a tool, then do it, if it's something you're pursuing. Working parts, Ruben? Yeah. Yeah, 500's not bad then, Jacob. Drill holes on one side, glue the chair up in front, lay it flat, drew the other 90s hole. Yeah. So I did that with the other chair, building the other chair. I put together the side and the front leg with these 3 rails, and then I did the other side, glued them up, nailed them, boom. All I gotta do is put them together in the middle, right? Chair wouldn't sit flat. I had to really mess around. I put corner braces in to square it up. I'm kind of leaning toward keeping everything loose fitting and trying to get glue and everything all at once with a bunch of ratchet straps, and then putting it on the table, loosely ratchet strapping everything up, and then I can move every stick to get it as square and as flat as possible. It might be a little more finicky work and farting around, but you know, that chair ends up not being perfect. I'd like it a little more square in the front, but I can't do anything with it because I had already glued pieces up, so I couldn't like move joints because they were already solid. So I couldn't, you know, flex that joint just enough and then let the glue dry and it would stay. But that's what I'm thinking. These are my first 2 Hickory chairs, so this is all new. So, you know, looking at and listening to different ideas, you know, I'm always open to that stuff. I'll try different ways. You know, when I do the rocker that I'm going to build just to build, might be one of the next chairs I do when I have the time to do it. You know, that process might look different than what I'm doing now. It's just going to be a matter of what gets it done efficiently and is still a good job, because I don't want to sacrifice quality just for being fast. But at the same time, I also can't spend a ton of time on little things. So I don't know. I got to kind of figure it out. Chairs are kind of time consuming. That is for sure. That is for sure. But I guess most things are kind of time consuming. All right, Ruben, well, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate your comments and chatting with you. Hope you have a good one. Yeah, Jacob, I would definitely get the Milwaukee if you're going to do some bigger stuff. The Porter cable that I have, the very first Forstner bits that I got were the red ones, the homeowner ones to try. And this Porter cable runs at 800 RPM. And it's 7 amps. And I'll tell you what, it could barely handle the I think it's a 2-inch Forstner bit. I mean, it wasn't doing it. So after this, I ended up getting it's out there, a rigid. And I think that rigid runs at 500 or 600. And that ran that Forstner bit a little bit better, but not much. And I use that for drilling big holes when I'm putting wings on eagles and fastening new pieces of wood to sculptures and stuff. So with this project, I said, all right, if I'm going to buy all these tools for the sizes that I need and things, then I'm just going to upgrade to the drill that they recommend you use. And I don't know, for me, I see a difference in the way it cuts. And it's smooth. It really is. It's smooth, it's heavy, it's big, it's bulky, but I don't know, I like it. Gets the job done. Does a good job. Does a good job. So I got to do the backrest posts here next. But I kind of want to see if I can get these legs on and make this chair freestand before I do the back. There's like a square back that's got to go between the posts. Before I start getting all crazy technical on crap here. I'm probably gonna have to glue things up. This is gonna aggravate me. Alright, looking at the chair, this is my left, front, right, front. These are gonna go up. There's 2 of these. These are gonna be 2 lowers. So these would be my 2 lowers. These 2 got to drill holes in. Front. Let's see here. Let's see if we can do something on this. I don't know. I might have to glue and put some pieces together lightly as I mock up. Just trying to fit several tendons in all at once is just more fun than I can handle sometimes, I think. Come on, you clawhead. There's no glue in this, so this might not work. No glue, no nails, just kind of want to do a little free standing thingy. Every stick has its own little bend in it, and it really makes putting everything together a challenge. That and normally I got my mallet here, but it's just out of my reach. I'm trying to put it in here without any tapping. But I'm gonna have to. Okay. Alright. So there we got a chair frame up. You guys can just barely see it. No glue. We're just freestanding at the moment. Just get a good look at you, you know? Got the tenon cutter set up to just cut the tenons a smidge smaller than the hole, so when I do pound them in, I can get them all in place pretty good. And that way there we got a little bit of room for that expanding Gorilla Glue to work up and around, and it'll tighten the joint up, which is a plus. This actually looks pretty square. Now the fun thing with these chairs in this style is the front of this is wider than the back, and so it's trying to keep it having an open, you know, a bit of an open face compared to the back of the chair. So when you clamp it up, things want to go perfectly square, and that's what happened with the other one. A little bit of the front is kicked over to one side just a touch, and I think it's because I had parts already glued and nailed and totally solid. So this one will try to do more of a loose fit like this with glue and kind of work it in there, I guess. Well, I got to measure out these two pieces, because we got this backrest piece here that's inside this. You guys can't really see it, but I got to measure those and figure out some stuff. So, well, this is off compared to the Hickory one, I think. From the bark in, from the edge of the bark in, we'll go 1.25 inches. When I say the edge of the bark, I'm talking the edge of this bark, and I'll measure in 1.25 inches. And it'll give us a really close kind of fit all the way around. Actually, I think this board I've been keeping around, I think this board is actually, yeah, it's already 1.25 inches. So I'll use this little board. Here's my template. These two sticks lined up almost perfect right now. Boom. Alright, measured out. Get this in the vise, drill these out. Looks like the snow is slowed down for a moment. Probably, I bet we got a good 6 to 8 out there right now. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if it's still coming down pretty heavy. Tough to see out my windows. Looks like it stopped for a minute. Probably 5 inches, maybe 6 tops at the moment. They were calling for 14, but this thing is supposed to go, keep snowing through the day. We'll see if it happens or not, see what's going to happen. It's the fun thing about New York, they can just say whatever they want for the weather, and whatever happens, happens. You know, the weatherman's got the best job, because he can be so wrong, and he never gets fired. It's okay. I'll tell you, the weatherman. If you never thought about it, like think about it, for real. The weatherman, it doesn't even matter. He's just got to be close. You know, like, hey, the sun might come out today, and there's a chance of clouds. We may see some rain. In higher elevations, there's a possibility for snow, but you might also be running shorts all day. It's okay. The weatherman's got it going on. He really does. Or she. I mean, they don't even have to be accurate. How many times do they get to be wrong before they're called out, I wonder? Like, hey, Bob, listen, you know, you said it was going to be 40 today, and it was 95 degrees. Like, this has been 2 months in a row you did this. You going to do something different? 2 weeks in a row. What are you going to do? You know? No big deal. It's okay. Oh, to be the weatherman. Hope you guys have had a good week. I've had a bit of a crazy week. I've got a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on this week. Some weeks are just crazier than others, you know? They just are. That is life, I guess. Hopefully, after I get these chairs done, I can get some carving done. I gotta get some stock going here. Gotta get all these pieces carved up on my property. Carved up. All these little logs and things. Jacob, if you're still here, what would you get for tenons, man? Did you get the pros or did you get the homeowner series? I found it's really, really important to have the knives set at the perfect spot. If they're a little too far in or out, they definitely don't cut right. What is this? I drill up these holes. Drilling hickory is quite something. Hickory is really, really dense. It's really hard, and it is dense. If you got dull bits, you know it, because they do not want to drill hickory. Some nice sharp bits like the ones I just got the other day and I'm using now. Wow. World of difference. The other ones I got, brand new bits, but they were obviously dull, or the angles they cut on them for cutting is just, maybe it's for softer material, because they did not want to cut the hickory. I mean, I used those bits for that chair and was just, I think I cut my drilling time in half with these new bits from Diablo, because them other ones, it was ridiculous. Practically burning more than it was cutting. That's completely frustrating. Completely frustrating. Let's see here. So, we are done with this guy. I'm gonna get this guy off the bench. We're gonna actually glue up the backrest part, so I can get that flat, get the ends glued. And that piece, I don't mind gluing up. I might end up gluing more than that. We'll see what the heck happens here. Get that guy out of the way. Get the bench cleaned up. You guys are having a good day. Yep. Yeah, so when I got the homeowners, I had that other drill, and I don't know if it was the homeowners series or because of the drill I was using, I hated them. I only used them a few times to make some headboards, and now I'm kind of wondering if it was just the drill. So once I get done with these chairs, if I get a day to play around with it, I'm going to bust out that homeowner one. So I got some bed frames I want to make, and try it again with the new drill and see if it's still giving me a hard time or not. Because let's see here, I think it's a 2-inch. Oh, this homeowner. Let's see. I don't even know. Doesn't even look like it says. This is it though. This is the big one that I've got. I think this is a 2 or 2 1/4 inch. But you know, looking at it now, those teeth are way too far away. Those cutters, they should be much closer. I've got a piece of walnut here that's actually I found was like about where they need to be. And that's where they need to be. At least on the smaller ones, they need to be that distance. I don't know on this guy if that'll be too much or not. I'll have to really monkey around with it and see if I can get this thing to work. If I can get this to work, I'm not gonna buy a Pro Series, you know, 2-inch cutter. I'll use this. Like I said, I got some head and footboards I want to make for a store using logs and stuff, and that's the way to go right there for your joints. They look nice and clean. You know, rustic style is perfect. A couple of these sticks are like shredded up though. That's the only thing it's a bummer with that tenon cutter. Sometimes you get that junk going on. Yeah, with that tapered shoulder, you can get a bigger log. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing any real framing. Most of my stuff will be furniture-wise, unless a customer really, you know, wants something massive. But for the most part, I definitely won't be doing framing jobs or using gigantic 4, 5, 6-inch girth logs. I don't want to get into that. I don't have the space and all that to have those sort of logs on hand, and I don't want to have to handle a project of that size, I guess. I like working with the logs, you know, 2, 3-inch kind of size stuff. That's not bad to, you know, throw around and move those sort of pieces yourself without a bunch of help. So these pieces I'm not too worried about, like the ends being gashed up, because these will be covered in fabric. But I do have to sand them quick because I want to glue it up, so I gotta sand them down. Sand them down. Sand them down. Let's see here. This piece is shot at 120. Let's see if we got another one. Stinking slipped on the ice outside my shop yesterday and like messed up my back and my shoulders. I didn't even fall to the ground. You know, you flail around like a maniac trying to catch yourself from actually hitting the ground, and I should have just went like this. Should have just went like that and hit the ice and fell. Because I am sore today just from the slip. Just from the slip. It wasn't even a fall. Just the slip. smoothing them out. Not sanding these out for aesthetics or anything. I'm sanding these out so there's no high spots, no catch spots. Nothing nobody's gonna feel through the fabric, because these pieces will be covered in fabric by the upholster once we get to that point of the build. Shooting for Monday, that's the plan. All right, guys, you gotta plug your ears. I gotta turn this shop back on. I gotta get rid of this dust real quick. Boy. What is up? What is up? Hey, what's going on, Mahendra? Hope you're having a good one. Just working on hickory chairs. So this one's done. This one I'm working on. There's no glue in it right now. Everything's sitting there. I still got to sand all the sticks like I just did these ones. But These ones I'm just getting rid of any high spots real quick. They don't have to be perfect. These are gonna get wrapped in fabric, so. But these other ones I'll hit with the sander 120. We'll take down any high spots, any catch spots where if somebody were to sit in like shorts or brush up against it, nothing's gonna scratch you. You want all that kind of removed with chairs, you know. Kids are gonna, if there's kids, they're gonna kids touch everything. You don't want anybody to get poked or scratched or get an abrasion from something, so you try to smooth it all out. Smooth it out. So right here, this is the backrest I'm assembling. We're gonna throw some glue in here, maybe a couple nails even, so it'll hold, so I can work on the rest. This is gonna go between the two tall legs. Let's see, this big rectangle. So it's actually gonna get mounted between these two legs, kind of like that. And then it'll get fabric and a webbing, and then the foam, webbing, foam, and then fabric, I believe, something like that. Not even fabric, leather, because these are going to get leather back. So I need this spot clear like I just did, because this piece needs to sit. This piece needs to sit pretty darn flat. That's what I want. I want it to sit flat, you know. It actually looks good, so pop this back apart, kind of keep everything lined up. I'm gonna turn my compressor air on, but I don't know if it's gonna kick on. Bear with me, guys. We gotta build some air pressure. Stuff's like honey. Don't want to come out of there. Very, very small amount. Hickory is just no joke. It really is. It just irritates the crap out of me working with it, because it does not like nails. Hickory hates nails. So that's fun when you want a nail. The good news is with these pieces, like I said, they get covered in fabric, so you won't see the blowouts that are happening. But I'll show you guys in a minute. So this first nail wanted to kind of go in the tenon and have it go into the wood and hold it. Instead it blew out the top. So this one went straight into the tenon with some of the wood to hold it. This wood's really, really strong. So like I don't need a ton of the meat here to hold this thing together. It'll do its job and it'll be just fine. You know, this one we hit, this one went in and bent, and kicked out the tenon. Instead of going into the log, it just went out wherever it wants. Again, these will be all covered in fabric, so you won't see these. Not a huge deal. Go through, trim them off to make sure there's no poke points. It's all just fun and games, you know? It's all just fun and games. All right, now we're gonna stress somebody out about chisels because we're gonna take a chisel and break our nails off. Oh my gosh, what? Yeah. That's why you keep an old chisel around. Just because they're all beat up don't mean you should chuck them. I got a good set, and I got a cheap junk set of chisels, and I will use my chisels for whatever the heck I need them for. Could use a screwdriver, but they tend to slip. Chisel will at least bite the edge of these little nails and bend them over or cut them off. And then that chisel, I don't bother throwing on a sharpening stone. Instead, we just hit the sander with it and be done. Call it good. So this one we kind of got to put another nail in because that didn't. That's the one that got all weird on me. And nail gun kind of scares me just a little. Not a huge fan. Well, works great. Just startling, I guess. Fold that one over. Good to go. Good to go. Wonder if I could put this in with this thing freestanding up here. We'll see. Everything will probably just fall apart, but at least we'll be expecting that. Yeah, I'm gonna lay it flat, pop everything in place. It's usually how it goes. It doesn't ever line up perfectly. Usually gotta use the mallet and give it a little tap, tap, taparoo. Yep. Alright. I'm gonna have to put that back piece together. Maybe that's what I'll do this time. Maybe we'll put the whole back together instead of the sides. Put the back together, glue it up, and then we'll do the runs this way and the front all at the same time. So the back will be a good solid piece to work with, with nothing moving around, and then I can put all those the other joints on to that solid back frame. All right, well, I've been on here an hour talking about furniture, probably boring a bunch of you. Appreciate you guys stopping by. I'm gonna jump off this live feed though. Hope you guys have a great day. I have no idea if we'll see a video tomorrow. I don't know. Got a bunch of things going on. We'll see what happens, you know. Hopefully we can get some carving in next week, get a video up. I've got some requests. If you watched this far, and you guys, you know, if you have a chainsaw carving request, comment in the regular comment section, and I will add it to the list. Currently, we have a somebody wants to see a chainsaw carved bowl and a owl. So we got a bowl and an owl as requests for carving videos. Those will be, you know, something we do in the future. If you got a request, do it in the regular comment section, not in the live section, and leave me you guys' requests, and I will put your name and your request on the list. So hope you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching. once I can find the thing, I'll say bye. Bye.